Hey guys, so I'm back with another book haul video, and for some reason, I don't know why, I always seem to make a lot of videos on book hauls, and I really have no idea why. Maybe it's because I like watching videos on book hauls, so I'm pretty sure you guys like watching videos on hauls too. But I really wanted to make it more of a variety of book related content, like more book reviews, and I have a couple of other ideas that I want to film as far as other content for book related things. I just haven't gone around to making them. I mean, I'm so lazy. It's so sad. But I'm gonna try and get those book reviews out there because there's a lot of books that I've already read that I just haven't gone around to making book reviews on, and I'm just lazy and procrastinating, but I'm gonna try my best to get them out. But for this video's purposes, it's gonna be your typical YA book haul, novels, and also some university books because I just started a new semester at college. So I'm just going to go ahead and include those books in this video too. So yeah, if you're interested in knowing what I got for this month, this week, just keep on watching. So the first two books that I got, which happen to be by the same author, are The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. I really hope that I said that name right because yeah, that'd be pretty bad if I didn't, but let's hope. So it's by Khaled Hosseini and it's called The Kite Runner. And then I also got, by the same author, A Thousand Splendid Suns. And I actually found these books at Goodwill. If you guys have seen my other videos, you guys know that I am crazy for going to Goodwill and buying books because I seem to find a lot of good books. These are in really good condition, and I seem to be getting them for, I seem to be finding them for a really cheap price. So I've been going back there to get more books, and I haven't gone recently, but when I did pick up these books, they were for a pretty cheap price, about $2 or $3 I think, I don't remember. But the reason why I chose these books is because a lot of people have told me that they're really good books, and you know, they're not your typical YA novel. They're not your typical, it's not your average book, basically. And the goal that I had in mind when I picked these books up was that I want to be a more well-rounded reader. And I want to read genres that I normally won't read because I don't find them interesting or anything like that. But I want to read them because I want to be a more well-rounded reader. So I picked these books up in hopes that I would read them and just get a taste for what it's like living in different cultures and what other people's experiences in those cultures are. And that's pretty much what these two books are about. It's two different people living in this culture, in this country, and their experiences with it. So yeah, I got these two books. The next book that I got is, it's kind of a funny story, by Ned Vizzini. And when I was looking through the bookshelves and I found this book immediately caught my attention. It's not like the average book that you pick up that has the same beginning sentence as every other book that you've ever read a synopsis for. That's the thing that really aggravates me when I go scavenging for books, is that every book that I ever pick up, it seems to start with the same line. And it's so boring, and I feel like I've read the same line before that it turns me off, and I just immediately put the book down, and I don't even bother reading the rest of the synopsis because it's boring. And so what I really liked about this book is that the synopsis just grasped my attention, and it sounded so quirky and interesting and just funny. It's kind of a funny story, but it just sounded so quirky that I got kind of curious as to what the book might be about. And the line that really caught my attention, well, apart from the story being about a kid that tries to commit suicide and gets sent to a mental hospital, I want to say. Yeah, he gets sent to a mental hospital. Aside from that, in that mental hospital, he meets a transsexual sex addict, a girl who has scarred her own face with scissors, and the self-elected President Armelio. I was just like, what? Like, I wanted to know who this transsexual sex addict was, what was up with that girl who decided that she wanted to scar her face with scissors, and then I wanted to know a little bit more about this President Armelio. So that definitely grasped my attention when I saw this book and I read the synopsis. And I mean, the cover's not too bad either. It's different, and ironically, I just saw a movie trailer for this book, which I had no idea that they were planning on making this book into a movie, but when I saw the trailer, it just made me want to read it even more because it sounded that much more interesting. I'm pretty sure the book will be better because that's normally how it goes. Books are usually a little bit more detailed and they're a little bit more better at narrating the story, so I'm really excited about reading this book. So the next book that I got was The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and it's by Michelle Hodgkins. And just by looking at the cover of the book, it's such a pretty book. It's so, I don't even know what to say about the cover. It's just so pretty. There's just something about covers that speak to me. I don't know if that's creepy or whatever, but it just, whenever I see a really pretty cover, it just kind of talks to me, and I just have to buy it just because of the cover. I'm a cover whore. I'm sorry. But a lot of people have been raving about this book, and I really tried to find booktubers out there that did book reviews on this without, I guess, spoiling it, but a lot of the people that did book reviews on it said that they couldn't really give you a general, they couldn't really give you a good book review on the book without spoiling it for you, which kind of sucks because I really wanted to know what it was about before I bought it. But so many people have said so many good things about it that I decided that I wanted to go ahead and buy it anyway, just to see for myself. And it seems to be one of those kind of books that you just don't know what's going to happen until the very end. Suspenseful and action, and I like those kind of books. I like not knowing what's going on until the very end, and I like guessing to see if I can figure it out for myself and then be totally, completely wrong. So I definitely wanted to get this book to see for myself what it was about. So that's another book that I got. Next up is Winter Girls by Lori Halse Anderson. Halse Anderson? I hope I said that right. Halse? Yeah. So it's Winter Girls, and I like reading these kinds of books. Books about girls with eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia, what's another one? Obesity, things like that. Binging and purging. I like reading books about that kind of thing. I'm a psychology major, so that's something that I read about a lot in school. And so I also like reading them, you know, as pleasure reading books. I like reading about that kind of thing just to kind of get an idea what these girls are thinking when they get into this kind of thing. And when I read the synopsis, it sounded something up my alley. Like, I've read other books before about girls with eating disorders and things like that, and it just sounded really interesting to me. But in a nutshell, this book is about these two girls, Cassie and Leah, who are best friends. And then I want to say Leah dies. One of the girls dies. I think it's Leah. Leah dies, and then it's just Cassie trying to, you know, figure out her life and what she's gonna do and how to deal with this disorder that she has, which is basically just trying to be as skinny as possible, even though there's people that are constantly making fun of her for it. So it's a really interesting story. So this next book I am really, really excited to share with you guys because I've never entered any kind of giveaway whatsoever. I usually buy my own books with my own money, and this is the first time that I've ever entered a giveaway and actually won. And not just won, I won a copy from the author herself. The author sent me the book, so I was really excited and happy about that when I got it in the mail. And the book that I'm talking about is Blooddrunk by Angela Lovell. Blooddrunk Faded Blue by Angela Lovell. My mistake. And it's your typical, well, I'm not going to say typical because not every typical vampire book is the typical vampire book. They're all different in their own way, but it's about a vampire. It has like a vampire feel to it, and it's about my nose. Sorry. It's about a guy named Blue Knightley who goes searching for his missing sister who mysteriously disappeared, and he ends up meeting this clan, I want to say, like a group of cult or whatever of vampires. He meets a group of vampires basically, and these vampires decide that they're going to help him find his missing sister, and in the process of looking for his missing sister, he ends up falling in love with a vampire. So it's a love story. It's about vampires. It sounded really, really cool to me. I love vampires. I love Twilight. It was a little bit too mushy for me, but I still love Twilight. I love the movie, so I figured, why not? So yeah, this is the book that I got. Last but not least, a book that has been all over the internet, all over, I don't know, everywhere basically. Like, I've just heard about this book everywhere, and I've seen it everywhere. And that book that I'm talking about is John Green's The Fault in Our Stars. Now, I've never read any of John Green's books, I'll be honest. I've never read any of his work. And every time that I've gone to the bookstore to look into his books and read the synopsises and get one, I never end up getting any of them because I just find that the plots are boring to me. I don't know why. I always go in there, pick up a book, read the synopsis, put it down, come back again, and do the same thing over and over again. I've done this a couple of times, and I just can't find myself, like, I just can't get myself to buy a book. And so one day when I went to Sam's Club, I saw the book, and I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to get the book and just see for myself, see if I like it. A lot of people say he's a very good author, and a lot of people like his work. So, you know, I'm open to new things, open to new authors and new experiences, so I figured, why not? Plus, it's a signed copy. So, let me show you guys. It's signed! And I've never had a book that's signed before, so I thought that was really cool when I got it. So, I decided that I would get it anyway, just to check it out for myself. These are all my textbooks for this semester. They're pretty heavy. There aren't as many textbooks as I had last semester, and it's probably because I'm already like in my junior year, so I don't really need that many anymore because they kind of recycle them from previous classes. Like for previous classes, you kind of use the same textbooks for another class sometimes. So yeah, these are my books. The first book that I got for school was Adolescent Development, and I've had this teacher before for lifespan development. She's a very enthusiastic teacher, really loves what she teaches, so I guess that's why the class seems so much more interesting. I mean, I had to take the class. I think one of the reasons why I really wanted to take this class, not only because I have to take this because I think it's an elective that I have to take for my major, but because she's so enthusiastic about teaching, so it makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more bearable. These next 3 books are taught by the same teacher, but they're 2 different classes. The first one is Behavior Modification. It's another it's another one of those classes that I have to take for my major. I'm not sure if it's an elective for my major or one of the core classes for my major, but that's one of them. Then there's this little manual, the publication manual of the American Psychological Association. It kind of goes hand in hand with this next book, Research Methods in Psychology. It's basically teaching you how to do research, write research papers, how to gather your information, your articles, and things like that. I hate writing papers, so I really see this class, this is gonna suck. Last but not least is a history class that I have to take. When I first started college, I kind of skipped around when picking my classes, and I didn't pick all of my core classes that you're supposed to take, I guess, in order. I don't even know how that happened, to be honest, because I thought that you were supposed to take your core classes first and then go into your major. I don't know. But apparently I skipped taking history class. I skipped taking a history class, and so I have to take it now, my junior year. So it's History 2 Student Edition. Comes with I think it comes with a CD and some flashcards. I'm really not fond of history. I don't really care too much about history, which is so wrong for me to say because it's such an important class and it's such an important concept. Like, people really should be educated when it comes to our history. It's so important, but it's just so boring. But I'm hoping that with the teacher that I have, it won't be as bad. We'll see. Those are all the books that I got for this video, and thanks for watching, guys.